Did you stab your dad?
I stabbed myself.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say from the beginning, that's what it probably sounded like, is like he killed his dad and then panicked and then tried to kill himself. Dude, I swear all these body cam crime channels are all the same. They're all text to speech. I wonder if it's all like ran by the same dude.
I'm so touch deprived that I had a dream of myself hitting on a hot old family friend at my own B-day party. I think I'm screwed.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what a wild thing. Dad, this isn't like a we're not sharing our secrets right now, all right? We're not sharing our deep, dark secrets. We're keeping those on lock.
December 4th, 2021, Rodney Berg Christopherson and his father Donald were spending the day in their home. 47-year-old Rodney lived with his 88-year-old father in St. Anthony, Minnesota. Rodney had multiple mental health issues, including schizophrenia and a history of suicide attempts. Housing him with his father seemed the safest option considering his conditions. However, concern grew when neither Rodney nor Donald responded to calls or text.
How does that seem like a good idea at all? Hey, your 47-year-old son is struggling mentally.
Let's celebrate.
Hey,
and suck some dick.
88-year-old man. You want to take care of a mentally struggling person right now? 88-year-old man? How in any way does that sound like a good idea? Loki's Curse, thank you so much for the gifted sub.
Driving by the house, Rodney's sister noticed a newspaper on the ground outside the door. In addition to not getting any calls or texts back, she found this strange since her father always picked up the paper first thing every morning. She pulled over to knock on the door but got no response. Unfortunately, she didn't have a spare key to her father's home. However,
just like an 88-year-old man running for president. Oh no, oh no.
Her brother Foy did. She asked Foy to check on the household when he could, and she drove off. When Foy arrived at the house at around 5:30 that evening, he discovered a horrific scene. His mentally unstable brother Rodney was laying face down on a blood-soaked carpet. Rodney immediately told Foy, "Call 911. I'm dying." Presumably when Foy walked towards their elderly father's room to check on him, Rodney said, "Don't go in there. Dad's dead." Foy then called 911.
173615.
Annabelle 911, what is the address of your emergency?
An Oakland with a transfer in St. Anthony.
Thank you. Hi, caller. Can you verify that address again for me, please?
Play the address again, Rodney.
In this moment, Foy asks his brother Rodney, who is laying on the floor, to recall the home address. Rodney recalls the address correctly, and Foy confirms that information to the 911 operator.
Then what's going on there?
Either dad dropped dead or he was murdered. I mean, if he's covered in blood, that's the thing that's confusing.
I came to do a wellness check on my father and my brother who live together. My brother reports that my father is deceased, and my brother says he is dying and has perhaps...
Okay, where is your dad at?
He is in his bed.
Dude, that is the most nonchalant way. Like, bro's acting like it's just another Tuesday. Yeah, I walked in here. Dad's dead. Brother's on the ground covered in blood. He has a knife, I think. In shock? Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware he's in shock. It's just hilarious. Like, it is funny sometimes whenever someone who's in shock just kind of like is so like nonchalant about everything. Yeah, my dad's dead. I mean, that's something.
Okay, have you been in there? Is he breathing and conscious yet?
My brother says he's dead. Don't look.
Okay, sir, can you go in there and check for me so I know what we're sending for?
That's kind of like fucked up to tell the son of a father to go look at your dead dad, you know? Like, what do you mean what we're sending for? Ambulance? I feel like that's pretty good. That's all we need. Like, can you go look at your dead dad for me? Yeah, just to confirm. Yeah, but I don't want to, I really don't want that trauma in my brain to see my dead dad. Yeah, but come on, just do me a favor, go in there, just look at him. That's gonna give me trauma for the rest of my life. Sorry, we need to make sure he's dead.
He's deceased.
Might not be dead? Then go bring an ambulance. They'll walk in there and save his life. Why is it the son's job to confirm that his dad's dead? I don't know. It just seems like such a weird question.
And he's been...
Okay, sir. Have you been in the bedroom like I asked you to?
Yes. I looked at him and I touched him. He's deceased.
Well, good job. Good job, operator. Now Christopherson has trauma for the rest of his life. Good job. And he's been beaten on the head. Oh, goody. And it's really gory, too. That's awesome. Thanks, lady. Awesome. Hey, can you go in there and see your dad who just got beaten in the head to death, blood everywhere, and go touch him for me? Like, what is this? Shut up, operator. She's acting like this is such a normal situation.
And he's been beaten on the head.
Can you answer that?
Dude, I'm losing it with this operator. I'm actually, wow. Just send the ambulance. Send the ambulance. Let them deal with it.
Shut up, bitch. Oh my God.
Dude, like she's acting like she's at a drive-thru and the person in line just won't order. It's like, do you have anything else to order? Sir, do you have anything else to order? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's like acting like she's at a fucking restaurant or something. Like trying to take someone's order. Like, shut the fuck up. He's dead.
For me, please.
I'm checking. I'm checking.
What a bitch.
No, he is cold.
Congratulations, operator. You just ruined this man's entire life.
Okay, and what is your name?
I am Foy Christopherson.
Okay, I need to transfer you over for pre-arrival instructions
with the ambulance company. You are going to transfer him to an ambulance company. What? What? You forced this man to touch his dead father, check that he's dead, make sure that he's dead, look at his gaping wounds, and then you transfer him? Why is the ambulance still not on its way? The ambulance should have been called the fucking moment that he said that there is blood and there's a dead person. Boom, ambulance on the way. But no, you're gonna transfer him to an ambulance company and then you're gonna be on hold. You're gonna have like a little sound bite on hold. Like, yeah, we're on hold, man. I think this kind of sucks. Like, are you gonna die? Are you good? Oh, you're dead. Oh, you're dead too. Oh, okay.
The ambulance company.
Yeah, I'm going to step outside here a minute. My brother has...
All right, was he expected to... I don't need to know about your brother right now. Was your dad expected to pass away?
You don't need to know about the brother who's potentially going to die soon? Dude... What is this? What is this? Why is this operator so fucking terrible?
No, I suspect my brother beat him.
Okay, let me transfer you over for pre-arrival instructions, okay?
The 911 operator keeps Foy on the line while she contacts the proper officials, as this case appears to be a homicide based off Foy's information.
I had been with a caller on the line for St. Anthony. Well, he did say that he thinks his brother may have beat him to death, so we're going to send you to the area.
Okay.
Police rush to the scene and meet Foy outside the front door.
What's going on? Wellness check.
Okay, what year is this camera? Are we in the 1980s? Like,
my brother's laying on the floor in the kitchen, saying if he moves, he's gonna die. I think my dad is deceased. In the bed. What's going on? Holy cow.
The scene contains blood splattering along the floor and throughout the back hallway of the home. Rodney is seen laying face down on a carpeted floor in the middle of the house. Court documents.
Yeah, I don't need to know about the one who is in the process of dying. I want to know more about the one who's been dead for a while. That's the part that's crazy. It's like, I mean, I know, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Rodney is the one who actually killed his dad. But still, like, as an operator, as someone who's supposed to save people's lives, you're like, I'd rather know more about the dead one, right?
And share that some
I don't give a shit about your brother.
Blood on his shirt has dried, indicating Rodney has been laying there for quite some time, possibly several hours.
Are you breathing?
Yeah, if you move, there's a hole in my heart.
There's a hole in your heart? What did you use?
A knife.
A knife? Where's the knife?
Hours ago, it clogged over, but if I take pressure off my heart, I'll be dead tomorrow.
Okay. Did you stab your dad?
I stabbed myself.
You stabbed yourself.
What happened to Dad?
Yeah, I was actually gonna say from the beginning, that's what it probably sounded like, is like he killed his dad and then panicked and then tried to kill himself.
I'm not sure what happened. Powerful spell took me. Remember that?
6911, we're code 4 for medics. Make sure medics are coming code 3, please.
Where's the other guy? On the floor.
It's right here. Don't move him. He said he stabbed himself in the heart, and he thinks it
So can you just stand
it clotted, and he doesn't want to move because.
Jim.
What's that?
He's deceased in there.
Okay.
I have very little strength.
Okay, don't move. We got medics right here. Come on in. Well, what's your name, sir?
Rod.
Rod? Okay. So Rod stabbed himself in the chest. He's got a hole in his chest. He doesn't want to move because he said it's clotted.
It's right in my heart. So
Yeah, it does sound like
What's
a
that?
murder-suicide, yeah.
right in my heart. So
You stabbed yourself right in the heart.
keep pressure.
Okay, so he's got pressure on his heart, and he doesn't want to move because if he does, it's going to start bleeding out.
We got another one in the bedroom.
Okay? And there's one in the bedroom. I think he's deceased.
You want to take a look in the room with,
Yep.
and just see if you don't want to attempt anything or
Okay.
just not sure of it?
The officer then enters Donald's bedroom to observe the body. He shines his flashlight on the father's face, and it is clear the man is deceased. Court documents.
But are you sure, though? Are you sure he's deceased? You know, we haven't clarified enough. Obviously, we haven't clarified enough if he's dead or not. Thank you, Kay, for the tier 1 sub. I don't know, maybe move him around a bit. You know what? Actually, bring the son back in here and have him move around the body more just to be sure. You know, just for the operator. The operator obviously wants to know, right?
Documents share that Donald had visible trauma to the head, blood on his face and torso, an apparent stab wound near his ribs, and an indentation near his left temple. There was also a wooden cutting board that was placed under his head. Autopsy would later reveal that he also had blunt and sharp force injuries on his left wrist as well.
Could you get us on the list for
A cutting
crime
board?
lab, please? Death investigation.
No. Okay.
He's deceased for sure. There's a board underneath his head.
He's got stabbed in the chest?
He stabbed himself in the chest, he
Did you
said.
mention anything about where the weapon might be?
No, but I think it might be that ice pick on the corner. Is there any blood or anything on there?
Nothing on it.
Do you know where the knife went? It's in your chest.
right now?
There is blood on here, by the way.
Some. Okay,
Yeah, there's
you don't
some-
have any weapons on you anymore?
Are you sure?
No knives under you or anything?
The officer begins
There's a
looking
squeaking sound in the back of your bird? Yes.
for what could have been used to
He
hurt
do
not
be
just
squawking.
Rodney, but whatever
He do
may
be
have been
squawking.
used against his father. He has to be careful as to not disturb the crime scene too much. He will wait until the paramedics have cleared Rodney out of the scene to do a deeper sweep.
I gotta make some phone calls.
Yep, I'll take care of the crime lab.
Hey man, what's your name? Rod, Jerome, Sam, the other paramedic.
97%, 125.
As paramedics work on Rodney, the officer takes photos of the scene with his phone. Seeing as this is going to be treated as a homicide case, this officer is likely trying to collect evidence without disturbing the medical process.
Oh my gosh.
You haven't moved till he's putting pressure on him. All right. We gotta put that on as quickly as possible. Okay. Hey, do you know where you got stabbed? Ron.
Yeah, I did it. It's on my left side of my chest at the front.
Left side of your chest to the front. Okay.
You did it?
He said he stabbed himself, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, sir.
What do you
wanna
need?
roll him this way.
Okay.
I got it in mind.
Dude, this body cam footage is wild,
The
man.
blood's coming out.
All right, sir, get on your knees here. We're gonna roll. 1, 2, 3, roll.
It's fucking with my eyes. Ah! Ah!
Did you
Sorry.
down the corner of the wall? No. Did you, are you going
Pull back
Want to
there.
just get him on?
Yeah, we get him on.
After flipping Rodney
Getting motion sickness? Yeah, I'm so glad it's not just me. I'm getting motion sickness too from it. It's just like it's hard to look at. Yeah, so that's motion blur. It's like keeping the motion blur on in games.
over on his back, paramedics keep pressure on his chest wound. One EMT uses scissors to cut off his shirt to get easier access to his alleged self-inflicted stab wound.
Can you put more pressure on that?
Put more
Oh,
pressure.
lower by my rib. Under my neck door.
Okay, yep, I got it.
We're gonna put the full canvas here.
Okay. Yep, I'll take a picture of it in a minute. I'll help him with this.
Okay, sir, get back on that side. We're gonna roll him towards you,
Yep.
and then we're gonna flick him down on this, okay?
Okay.
Shoot, I fucking I might skip forward a bit here.
And another knife that is found on the bathroom counter.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I can't even look at it. Oh, God. Okay.
And I think this guy got bludgeoned to death. This is definitely going to be a homicide investigation. There's a lot of stuff here, so.
Court documents share that medical staff informed officers Rodney described his mental state as maniac and reported he was in a fit of rage or madness. A blood draw showed the presence of midazolam, a sedative that can be prescribed to patients with schizophrenia. There were no other drugs detected in his system. Court documents also detailed words Rodney shared with officials. When they asked about his interrogation with police, he said, "They came and put handcuffs on me. And then they also had the crows outside, the ones that heckle you and say, oh, he's going to be in prison for his whole life, going to hell and all that kind of stuff. Men outside my door. Yeah, like heckling or trying to mess with my head. I just heard them. You could tell they were saying stuff subliminally to get me to hear and, you know, like, make me feel bad. Those kind of people, they prey on the people who are weak. They prey on victims. That's what they do. They're just scavengers of grief."
All right, Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, I don't think this was a good idea to let an 88-year-old man take care of a grown man with schizophrenia. I don't know, chat. Call me crazy here. Call me crazy. But, yeah.
Rodney said a couple days later while in his hospital room, "I don't think I should answer any questions. I need some representation. I don't know what the hell happened," and added, "All I can remember is delirium and nightmare thoughts. That's all I'm gonna say because I can't figure it out. I've been going through so much trauma here." He also indicated he felt better than that night. Later, Foy mentioned that he last saw his brother on Thanksgiving just a couple weeks prior and that Rodney appeared to be fine. He was seemingly taking his medication at the time. The whole scene came as a devastating surprise to him and his family. After his arrest, Rodney was charged with second-degree murder with intent, not premeditated. His bail was set to $1 million. Less than a week later, his lawyers imposed Rule 20. Rule 20 involves a process where mental health professionals observe the defendant while they are jailed to determine if they were aware their crime was morally wrong at the time of the event, and if they are mentally cognitive enough to have a fair and just trial. His court case was also moved from a jury trial to a bench trial, meaning the court would determine a verdict based strictly on fact and professional expertise of the case rather than jury opinion.
Oh, interesting.
During his evaluation, court documents revealed that Rodney viewed himself as a victim in this case. When asked about the events that took place, he stated, "Now that I've read the reports, I feel like it's not fair to ask me that. It's like putting me here with things, and I don't think it's fair to ask me those questions. They're holding me here on probable cause, which feels like I'm guilty until proven innocent. It's this terrible, tragic thing, and I feel sad, but I'm certain I never intended for something like this to happen. I've never hurt anyone." Rodney notably referred to a record of him not refilling his medication for 3 to 4 months and stated,
there it is.
"So hopefully that looks, in the case of the court, hopefully that looks good. That could be one of the triggers conceivably. I think it was a number of things. There really wasn't a trigger. It was just out of nowhere." In another instance, he described short-term memory loss of the accident and stated, "My mind's still kinda sketchy." After evaluation, doctors found Rodney, quote, "meets diagnostic criteria for major depressive disorder, recurrent, severe, in full remission, with anxious distress and psychotic features." Based on his statements and mental
I feel like that's an understatement.
Diagnosis, it was determined Rodney was having a psychological episode at the time of the alleged offense, and that he did.
It's almost like dropping this guy on his 88-year-old dad wasn't a good idea. You know, it's almost like they should have gotten him expert help. I mean, obviously, I don't know their situation, but like, you know, how in any way does dropping him on his father by himself a good idea? Like, I don't know.
Did not know the wrongfulness of his conduct. This was further supported by a known history of Rodney's, where he would experience a rapid onset of symptoms, followed by a compulsion to act. Both instances of his no suicide attempts involved him cutting himself, according to court documents, also implying a pattern. Forensics would later determine that Rodney's DNA and fingerprints were found on the murder weapons in question, and that he carried through the acts of killing his own father beyond a reasonable doubt. However, the court found that Rodney did not show signs he was planning the attack by acquiring weapons, and he did not attempt to hide the crime afterwards. It wasn't until hours later that he showed knowledge that his actions were wrong. Due to these facts of the case, the court acquitted Rodney of his second-degree murder charge, and he would be considered not guilty. In the meantime, the court ordered that Rodney would be detained in a state hospital or other facility pending completion of the proceedings. Prosecutors are required by state law to file a petition for civil commitment after a not guilty verdict of this nature. Following due process and input from medical professionals, a judge will decide whether Rodney should be civilly committed. That process is still going through the system, and the court trial will be held on August 30th, 2024.
What a interesting case. Because yeah, technically that makes sense. Like that he was not guilty in the context of insanity. But man, we just need better mental health stuff in general. Like in general, we just need better mental health stuff. You know, he stabbed himself. Shouldn't that be seen as him doing it out of guilt and therefore knew what he was doing was wrong? That's tough. That's tough to say, because when you're in psychosis, like when you're in a manic state, it's like, who knows? Like, who knows what was going through his head at the time? That's a good point. But also, like, who knows what was going through his head? It might have been guilt. It also might have been some other thing that was going through his head. You know what I mean? We don't know.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.